from everybody. Thank you. Okay, once again, you're all welcome to this session this morning. And this morning we'll be talking about values, the foundation of leadership. Please, can you all see my screen too? Is my screen clear? An emoji from anyone just to confirm if my screen is visible to everybody. Okay, thank you. So our goal for this session is to help you understand values and how they shape who you become as a leader. So before we proceed, I would like us all to engage in this icebreaker that is on the screen. Like, out of the two options given, choose the one you agree with more. You can use the chat box to send in your responses. Number one says A. Option A says to win at all costs. Which one do you agree with more? Or to win the right way? Number two says to be popular or to be respected. Which one do you agree with more? So I'll be waiting for your responses in the comment section. Just drop number one, just type in your response into the chat box. Which of these resonates more with you? Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to win at all costs or to win the right way? Out of the two, which will you also prefer to be popular or to be respected? Thank you, Ifeoluwa Jegede. I've seen your response. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, thank you for your responses. Now, let's quickly reflect on our options now that we just dropped. Which of these options was hard to choose? Sorry, which was an easy choice for you, and which one was a hard choice for you? Was hard for you to choose, and the one that was hard for you to choose, why was this hard? Can I get any volunteer? You can just unmute and just share if you're willing to share what was an easy choice for you and which one was hard for you to choose, and why was it hard for you to choose? Any volunteer to unmute and just respond. I want this session to be as interactive as we can, so just to show that we are following. Is there any volunteer? Since you're permitted to just unmute and share. Let's quickly reflect on our responses. Anybody? Okay. For you to type, you can also just drop it. Which was hard for you to choose? Which was easy? The one that was hard for you to choose, why was it hard for you to choose? Okay. Okay. Yet to see any response yet. So, okay, probably we'll just, let me just proceed. Okay, so now I just want to link us up with our responses with what we are discussing here today. Now, the choices we made are actually about values. And as leaders, we make these choices every day. Every day as a leader, you make choices. And the choices you make are as a result of the values that you have. So now, what are values? As a growing young adult, you must develop your value system. Now, your value system is your behavior. It consists of your behavior, your integrity, your character. Then your values actually provide an internal reference for what is good, beneficial, important, useful. In simple terms, values determine what you classify as good and bad, or what you classify as right and wrong. Values are the beliefs and principles that guide how you think, how you act, how you treat others, how you make decisions. Now, we have many examples of notable persons in the society today whose personal values actually propel them to the top. For example, Nelson Mandela was known for his integrity and courage. He spent 27 years in prison. Despite that, he still refused to abandon his values. Now, this earned him global respect and moral authority, not just political power. He's world known for this value, for his integrity and courage. Now, presently, as youths, we are in the season of how do I put it now? We're in the season of preparation. The values you develop and imbibe at this stage presently in your life might actually stick with you for life. Like you are still in your season of you are still molding, so to speak. So there are some choices you make when you are alone. There are some choices you make when you're alone. And there are also some certain choices you make, or there are some ways you act sometimes when you're in the midst of people, which might actually be the difference. But just know that your personal values actually reflect what you hold dearly. They guide you when no one is watching. So what you have taken to be your own personal values should be something that you'll be able to do even when nobody is watching you, even when you are the only one there. You know how to act, you know what to do, because those are your values, which you hold in high esteem. You're not just there because of what people will say or what people would think, because of what you hold dearly, because of what you yourself, you have seen that this is who I am. This is what I want people to see that I am. Now, as a young person aspiring to be a leader, values matter a lot. Now, values matter in leadership because as leaders, values will help you to make wise decisions. The values you have that you hold in high esteem will actually earn you respect and trust. People tend to respect you and people tend to trust you when they've known you with a particular value, when they've seen over time, they've studied you and they've seen that, oh, this is the kind of person this girl is, this is the kind of person this boy is, this is the kind of person this youth is. So you earn that respect and you have the trust. Then also the values also help you to stay consistent under pressure. Like the world we are today, there are lots of things that comes to us as youths. We are actually tempted in a lot of ways, but your values will help you stay consistent, will help you stay true, and no matter the pressure, you will not bow, you will not bend, you will stick to your values. And also, it also helps you to lead without fear because you know what you stand for, you know what what you are. So you lead without fear. You know, no matter what comes, you are accountable. No matter what happens, you know you're doing the right thing. Now, a leader that has no values, you might have power but no trust. When people have seen you to be someone that they cannot rely on, you just know, oh, sometimes there are some things you say, they don't believe in you. The trust is not there. Your followers don't trust you. As a young person, you need to build your values, which make society come to trust you. And they may want to put you in positions of of leadership because they've seen you in several areas that, oh, this is someone that we can rely on. This is somebody that we can actually count on. Now, we have core values that of strong leader, of strong young leaders. If you want to be a aspiring leader, there are some core values. There are many, but there are these core ones that you should have as an aspiring leader, an aspiring young leader. Now, the first one, examples of these values include one, we have accountability. Now, as a young person, you have to own your choices. You accept consequences for your actions. You do not just throw blames at others. You don't shy away. You did something and you own up and accept responsibility that, oh, this was what I did. I was actually the person that did this. And you explain. This will make people to trust you more. You own up, you don't dodge, you don't shy away, you don't deny. You own up to your choices. I did this, I did this, I did that. With these, people will come to trust you. Then another value you could hold strongly is commitment. That is, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable a situation is, you are dedicated to finishing it, finishing what you started successfully. You dedicate yourself, you are committed to the outcome of a particular action. You see yourself finishing this thing, even if challenges come your way, you continue. Commitment makes you stay true to your word. Like you know that this thing needs to be successful. You don't even listen to side talk. You don't allow people to distract you. You stay committed to your goal. This is what I want to achieve. And with time, you come to achieve what you want to achieve. Then also we have discipline. You have to stay focused as a young person and avoid distractions. Just now, we just started this new year, 2026, and generally many people have what we call New Year resolutions. You see, this year I want to be this year I want to be that, and all of that. And for example, as a young person, you have said this year, okay, I want to improve on my reading skills, or this year I want to take an online course. This year I want to gain mastery in this and that. You've actually laid out your plan on how you want to go about it. And after mapping a schedule of how you want to carry out this online course, you allow yourself to be distracted. You're always on social media. You already have a schedule. The time you have already slotted for you to be attending this online course, you're actually doing something else. That is not discipline. When you are disciplined, you stay true to what you have agreed to do. That way, you'll be able to achieve a lot at the end of the day. So you have to be disciplined. Then also fairness. You have to treat people justly, fairly. You don't use any favoritism. You've been put in, for example, you've been put in charge of sharing workers for a community project, and they've also asked everybody to be there on time. And as the person in charge, you are giving slots to people. And somehow, because you know a friend that is coming that is very close to you, that is still at home, you reserve a slot for that person. And people that are there on time, they don't even tell them that, oh, it has been exhausted the slot, this, that, you allow them to go while keeping slots for somebody that is still at home. That is not fairness. That is not being just. You have to stop. As an aspiring leader, you have to learn to be fair in your dealings with everyone. Don't allow any favoritism to come in. Then also, your integrity should also be a core value for you as a young person aspiring to be a leader tomorrow. Integrity. Integrity means doing the right thing at the right time. It builds trust, like I said earlier. People tend to trust you more because they know your yes is your yes. They know your no is your no. You've come to build your integrity in the community you find yourself. Then also you respect everyone. Respect for others is also a core value. Respect everyone around you, either old or young. You respect, like they say, respect is reciprocal. You mind the way you talk to people, whether old or young. Show respect. for everyone. Then learn to also tolerance, another cover, learn to tolerate everyone around you. Listen to other people's opinion, because as a leader, you are bound to coordinate the activities of others. So you have to be tolerant. Someone is not doing something the way you want it or the way you perceive it to be the best way, allow them. You can also learn from them, tolerate their own views. At the end of the day, you might come to see that their view is actually okay. Not that you just push them or you send them away. You tolerate everyone. Then, as a leader, a young person, hard work should also be one of your core values. You should do your best again and again and again and again till you hit your targets, till you become successful. Even when you are tired, even when you are discouraged, you do not backslide. Like, you keep at it. At the end of the day, it pays off. It shows off in what you have agreed to do. Then also, timeliness is also one of the core value of a young leader. You are known to show up prepared and also punctual at meetings, at events. This helps others to see you like, oh, this person actually values other people's time. Timeliness is also a core value for us as young persons. We have many other values that we can also imbibe as a young person. So these are just some of them. So now let's go on to how do you develop your personal value as a young person. Now, in developing your values, you have to ask yourself these questions. And you have to be true to yourself in your responses to yourself. It's like a self-reflection. Now, you want to pick this particular value. Is this value very important to me? Like, how important is this value to me? You also ask yourself, what do I stand for? What do I want people to know me for? What is that thing that when people talk about me, I want them to, what are all those things I want them to say about me? They want to know me for. Now, this particular value you want to pick, will you want this value to define you? Just like I said before, when people are talking about you, should you be associated with this kind of value? Is it something you want people to associate you with? Do you want people to know you to be someone that has integrity? Do you want people to know you to be someone they can trust? You know, these are the kinds of questions you ask yourself. Now, you also look ahead. What kind of person do you want to become? Like, in the future, what kind of person do I want to become? Do I want to become someone that will lead with purpose? Do I want to become someone people can rely on? What kind of person do I want to become? Answers to all of these questions actually help you to develop your personal values as a person. Now, this particular value, is this something I can stand for in the face of ridicule or chastisement from people? Like, when they come blushing and bashing you, will you be able to stand for it and say, this is who I am? Will you be able to stand for it? Will you be able to withstand pressure from people when it comes, when you are being asked things? Will you be able to stand up, like, say, oh, this is what happened? Will you be able to do that? So by the time you ask yourself all of these questions and you actually write answers to them sincerely, this will actually help you to develop your personal values. Pick the values you want people to know you for. Answers to these questions actually help you. Now, let's look at an activity. We can do this quietly, maybe in a jotter. You can get a pen and a jotter to just jot these things down. Now, the first one, say, write down 2 values you want to live by. We looked at some values previously. Now, just pick 2 out of all those ones that you've listed. Just pick 2. It could be honesty. It could be integrity. It could be hard work. It could be commitment. It could be discipline. Now, You write down one action that shows each value. What are the things that you can do to show that, yes, you have picked this as your value? Now, I'm saying pick two because it's like a gradual process. Pick two that you can work with in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You watch out your actions. For example, now, I want to pick two values for myself that I want to work on. I'm picking hard work and discipline. Now, for hard work, one action that I can write out that will show hard work as a value for me is making sure I complete all tasks fully, not halfway. Anything I agree to do, I don't stop halfway. Okay, this week I have assigned a book like this month, or I want to finish this book. I've segmented this book in chapters. I'm finishing this chapter this week. I'm finishing that chapter next week. Like you've segmented the chapters of this book. Now, not stopping halfway, finishing that book at the exact time I have scheduled to finish it actually shows that I am actually following through with hard work. You've agreed to do something for someone. Someone has asked you to help them out with an activity, with a job, with work, something. You've agreed to do it. Make sure you follow it through to the end. Following it through to the end shows that, okay, I am imbibing hard work as one of my values. Now, discipline too. I am keeping to rules and routines. Now, in all I am doing for the next 2 weeks, I make sure I keep to my rules, to my routines. You have a to-do list of things you want to do for next week, for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Thursday, and Friday. You've listed them out. Discipline ensures you carry out all of those activities as at when due, even when you see that you might not be able to achieve. Some things might just come up unannounced, some things might just show up that might just kind of block you. But discipline, because you've taken discipline to be one of your values for the next 2 weeks, you find a way to ensure that you finish up what you have agreed to do. You keep to the routine, you keep to what you have said you want to do. You try to imbibe discipline in your everyday action for the next 2 weeks. So you just pick these two and write it down. This is like a personal a reflection for all of us here today. So just pick two values you want to work with for the next 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Then you can keep adding. You can add another value like that. Like before you know, in the next 6 months, you are consistent with these values. Whenever they show up, when you carry out actions, you know, oh, this is what I have. This is what I am. This is who I am. You are there, you know. This is just a way for us to build this value, because I know it's actually not easy, but it's something that we should be conscious and committed to doing. That, oh, this is my takeaway from this particular session. It is very good for us as aspiring leaders to have values we live by. So now let's go on to living your values. Now, it's not just saying, okay, respect is my value, one of my values. Integrity is one of my values. Trust is one of my values. Now, it's not just saying it, it should always show. Yes, your values show in how you speak to your peers, how you speak to teachers, how you speak to parents, how you speak to elders, how you speak to your colleagues. Anywhere you are, the way you speak to people shows the kind of value you have as a person. Then how do you handle peer pressure? Your values also show in how you handle peer pressure. You don't just go with the crowd. Oh, everybody is doing this. This is the in thing now. So if you are not doing this, you are not, you know yourself know that this particular act is not right. But because it is what everyone is doing, you just want to feel alone, you want to be among, you have to do it. No, it doesn't show you have values. So you have to handle pressure positively. Also, the way you use your social media also shows your value. It's not until you meet someone physically, you speak to somebody physically, you relate to someone physically, that you can show. You also show your values in the way you use your social media, the way you throw comments on this, let's say Facebook, Instagram. You go online, sometimes you see some insultive, when people put some insultive remarks under people's posts, comments. They comment, they say things that are inhumane, like, and you wonder what kind of person is this, you know? So you can't be someone that has values, that have you have your values that you want people to know you for, and you go to social media and you just comment anyhow, you just speak anyhow, you set up the ring light or what they call camera and you just talk anyhow because you're on social media. No, your values should show everywhere. They should also show in the way you treat rules and responsibilities. You shouldn't be the type that you disobey rules. What you're supposed to do, you don't do it, and you say you have values. No, it's not that way. It's how to show. Then also your values are tested when no one is watching. Yes, when no one is there. You can't say, oh, I'm an honest person because everybody is there. You try to do it the way everyone knows it should be done. But when nobody is watching, you are doing something else. That is not someone that has value. You are just doing things for the sake of the public. You want people to just see you like a kind of eye service. No, your values should also show when nobody is watching you, when you know that doing the right thing might cost you popularity. Your values are tested there too. They want to know, you are standing up for this, you want to be known for this. But you know that saying the truth at times might not be too palatable, might cost you a lot of things. So sorry for that. So as a person, if you know it will cost you popularity, you don't mind because you know your values. Your values are what you hold dearly, are what you want people to know you for. You don't mind. You do the right thing at all times. Then when friends also pressure you to do wrong, you know as a young person with values that you want to be known for. You want to be you want to be a reliable person, you want to be a trustworthy person. You do not bow down to pressure to do wrong things. You know what is right. You always do the right things at the right time. But this is how you live out your values. Now, to grow as a value-based leader now, because when you have your personal values as a person, they shape you into becoming the kind of leader you want people to know you for. Now, as a value-based leader, you to grow, you have to reflect on your actions. Yes, you reflect on your actions and you learn from mistakes. You ask yourself, where did I actually go wrong? What can I improve on? What can I do better next time? It's like a personal reflection. You reflect on your actions daily. You also learn from your mistakes. That's where you grow. Then also you choose your role models wisely as a young person. You cannot say respect is one of my values. I respect people a lot. And your role model, the person you pick to be a role model, is actually someone that is very rude, an abusive fellow. And that person is your role model. And you have respect as one of your values. So that kind of person cannot be your role model if respect is one of your values as a young person. So you choose your role models wisely. You choose people you look up to are people that you emulate their behavior. You want to be like them. So you make sure everything is aligned to your values. Your role models are actually aligned to your values. Then you also practice your values daily. You don't say, okay, today, this situation, I would practice this thing today. Tomorrow, I cannot. Tomorrow I'll do honesty. This today, let me just flow with the crowd. Let me just do this. No, 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 no. You practice your values daily at every given opportunity. This way, you grow. This way, it become a part of you. It's a gradual process. It's not a one-day thing. You can't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, you have values." No, it's something that you work on. It's a gradual process. So it needs constant practice. You need to reflect. You need to learn from your mistakes. This will help you to grow to become a value-based leader. So we are gradually coming to an end of the session. Now, it is very important that in just like I said, a little less of actions, you have to become the embodiment of your value. It helps you to guide how you behave daily. Now, as a young person, as a young leader, your skills may actually open doors for you, yes, but your values will determine how far you go. And I don't know if you understand that statement, like your skills. Oh, he's good in this, he's good in that. Oh, they can invite you to do one or two things for them, but your values will determine how far you go. You can't be working somewhere and honesty is far from you, and when they won't want to keep you in that kind of place for long. They will have to let you go. So learn to imbibe, demonstrate your values wherever you find yourself. Now, it won't be hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. Just like when we started the first time, those two questions I threw to I threw out to everyone. It is not hard once you know, oh, this is what I want people to know. This is who I am. You make your decisions on the go because you know what your values are. Then you choose your values. Like I said earlier, live them daily. It should not be a one-time thing. It should be a continuous process. This will help you to lead with purpose. Wherever you find yourself, everybody knows you for who you are and what they can expect from you. I think with that, come to the end of this session, and I also want us to reflect on that activity we did earlier on choosing the values. The essence of this session is for us to learn what values are and try and create the values you want to be known for. Please, let's adhere to that activity. If you were not able to do it, maybe in your spare time, you can go through over it again and try to choose the values you want to be known for and try to live them daily. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a wonderful audience. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Juliet O'Connor. That was a fantastic session. It was an amazing one. We would want to entertain questions. 2 questions to the speaker. Please, do you have questions? Please ask the speaker. Yes, your values determine how far you go. Choose your values, live them daily with purpose. Yes, we are doing well. Please, do we have questions? If we do not have any question, please use the chat box and write and type, I have gained. Well understood. Correct. So which means we can move on now. We appreciate your session. I've been able to go home with your value. We get you your skill. We get you the job. Your value determines if you are fit to be in the organization. Your value determines your stay in that organization. I appreciate. Thank you very much. While we invite Mrs. Olubumi Fred Otite to deliver the session on self-leadership. Please, Mrs. Olubumi, help us on mute.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Mrs. Olubumi. We can't see your video. Want to see your face, please. Want to see that beautiful
it
face.
will come up shortly.
Mrs. Olubumi Fred Otite, 18, coach. You Can you hear me, everyone? Hear me?
We can hear you.
She
It's
is the
breaking a
founder.
bit though.
Brighton. What about now?
It's clear.
She is the founder. Let me take it again, please. She is the founder, Brighten and Build the Teens Foundation. Olubumi is a passionate advocate for teenage empowerment, dedicated to helping young people break limiting beliefs and develop a healthy mindset. As the founder of Brighten and Build the Teens Foundation, a youth-focused organization committed to empowering teenagers and young adults, her leadership has successfully impacted over 3,000 school students and young persons, equipping them with essential life and economic skills and fostering both personal growth and academic excellence. Her dedication to civic engagement earned her recognition in fellowships such as yearly Regional Leadership Fellowship, Young Women Leaders, LEAP Africa, and the Women Emerging Fellowship. A CTIP ambassador, countering trafficking in persons, passionate in the fight against human trafficking in Nigeria, has championed several initiatives aimed at raising awareness, educating vulnerable communities, and collaborating with key stakeholders to counter the devastating impact of human trafficking. Olubumi finds beauty in the potential of young persons, nature, and the power of transformation, making them a guiding force for the next generation. Let's get it up, let's clap, let's cheer our CEO of Brighton Build and the Teens Foundation in the person of Olubumi Fred Otite. We give it up to you. Good to have you here. Thank you for bringing us all together.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm humbled. Thank you so much, powerful moderator. Thank you for doing all that you do. Good morning, everyone, once again. I'm super excited. I'm heartily delighted to be here today again. This is Executeens 2026. I mean, we had a blast last year and we are here this year again. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for being here. And I will not fail to mention our previous facilitator. She did an amazing job. I'm sure you all can attest to that. She dissected the topic on values, and I'm sure that we actually got value for that session. Thank you so much, Mrs. Juliet. That was powerful. That was insightful. And some of my takeaways before I move to the next my session is that values are tested when no one is watching. And some shots have been fired. Really, some shots have been fired. So it means we all need to up our games. We all need to do better. And this would also lead me to intimating us with some of our values at BBTT Foundation, which includes integrity, hard work, excellence, non-negotiable, respect, sustainability, and innovation. Yeah, so if I believe that we as individuals have at least we have our top three values now from this session, and I can see that some individuals from the last quarter are also here. Big ups to you, congratulations to you, and yes, we are here again. So my topic is self-leadership, self-leadership. So we hear leadership all the time. And I know we are focused on people, a leader, a follower. And, leadership is about influencing people towards achieving a set of goals, right? But then we often, most times, do not look at the angle of self leadership because you really cannot pour from an empty cup. And I believe that leadership is not just about titles, it's not about being in position, right? So before you can do great stuff and say yes, even without waiting for titles or positions, there's something we call self-leadership. And the journey to exceptional leadership actually begins within. So self-leadership is the cornerstone of personal and professional excellence. It involves empowering you to take charge of your growth, navigate challenges with confidence, and inspire meaningful change in the world around you. If you are following me, can you just put in the chat box leadership, 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 leadership. Put leadership in the chat box, type leadership. Great, 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 great. You are with me. Yeah. So, sure. Thank you. Thank you. I can see all of those chats. So, self-leadership is the cornerstone of whether you are looking towards personal excellence or you're looking towards professional excellence, it begins with you as an individual. It begins with me. And it's simply self-leadership in a layman's term is simply taking charge of you. You are in charge of you. Someone say, I'm in charge of me. Put I'm in charge of me in the chat box. I am in charge of me. I am in charge of me. I'm in charge of me. I am in charge of me. Great. I'm in charge of me. I'm in charge of me. All right. I hope that you can all see my screen. So what is self-leadership? It is the practice of intentionally influencing yourself. So this is intentionality. Intentionally influencing yourself to achieve motivation, direction, and continuous personal growth. It's about taking ownership of you, taking ownership of your thoughts, taking ownership of your action, taking ownership of your development without waiting for external direction. You're not waiting for somebody you are proactive. You're not waiting for someone to say, do this and do that. You're not waiting for someone to motivate you. You are self-driven. That is leadership. That is self-leadership, taking charge of you, being intentional about yourself. And we cannot speak about self-leadership without speaking of discipline. Our previous speaker told us about discipline, even with values. And it's the same here. Self-leadership entails a lot of discipline because this time, someone is not telling you what to do. So you are taking charge of you. You are totally in charge of you, right? So a lot of discipline has to go in here. And at this course, self-leadership includes 3 essential elements. Self-awareness, which involves understanding you as a person. You understand your strengths, you understand your weaknesses, and your values. Values here again. Here is value again. So you understand how to maximize your strength as an individual. You understand how to improve and work on your weaknesses and your values. So the first element is self-awareness. The other is self-regulation, which involves your emotions, right? Managing your emotions and your behavior. They say attitude is everything. So how do you manage your emotions? There's no way you can even accommodate or manage that of others, which is emotional intelligence, if you are not in charge of yours. We see how our leaders behave these days. As a matter of fact, I'll digress a little. We take Nigeria as an example. We complain, oh, what kind of leaders do we have? What is going on in this country? Here are leaders. Anywhere the subject of Nigeria not working is mentioned, leaders are the culprit. But we first forgetting that we produce the kind of leaders that represent us as a people. Our leaders reflect I mean, we didn't go and import leaders now. We didn't import leaders from Ghana or from the US or from Cameroon. They are within us in the same country where we are. So they're a reflection of who we are, everybody. So let's take responsibility and stop. Let's look at let's not focus on Aso Rock and all those places. Look at leadership within your community, within the estate where you live. Look at that. Let's begin from there. Even within a school, a principal and all of that. See how they take charge of things, and then you're complaining about the president or and all of those people. So it just simply means we have work to do. Imagine if everyone is taking charge of their lives, if everyone is doing what they should. I think we'll be better. I think the entire nation will be better. So let's stop focusing on a group of people, a community. Let's focus on individuals, because change begins with every individual. Can we write that down? Can we put that in the chat section? Change begins with every individual. It begins with every individual. Right. And like I said earlier, we can't talk about self-leadership without discipline, without intentionality, and without taking responsibility. Yeah. So let's look at us as individuals. How disciplined are you? How intentional are you? Do you take responsibility? So these are the elements of self-leadership. Discipline is key. Very, very key. Discipline is very, very key. I just thought to put this in. We'll be sharing the slides. So yeah, you might be taking notes and all of that, but we'll definitely share the slides, especially those that registered and we have your emails. We'll definitely get the slides to you. So it's okay. Right. So it's discipline, it's intentionality. Because if you are not disciplined, you start out, it's the first month of the year now. Everybody, there's this rave. Yes, I want a better me, a better 2026. This is what I've outlined I want to do, and all of those things. I'm hitting my goals this year. Some of us are even right, what's it called? We have put it in segments Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. These are the things I'm smashing them all this year. And then somewhere along the line, you get tired and you're like, oh my goodness, how do I take it from here? And we're talking self-leadership here. So it means you are the one motivating yourself. You are the ones. So you need a lot of discipline here. It's not about liking what you want to do. It's about doing what you want to. You have to just do it. You don't need to like what it is. It is, as a matter of fact, it will never come easy. It will never. But discipline will say, you got to do what you got to do anyways. It has to be done. And of course, excellently well. So yes, when we talk self-discipline, we are talking how to regulate our emotions. We are talking intentionality. And the third element is goal setting. Yeah, there's no way we can speak about self-leadership without setting goals, because a goal not written down or is just a wish, or how do they say it? It's just a wish. You just know, oh goodness, I have this dream, and then this is what I want to do, and it's just in your head. You have to pen it down. You have to write it down. You have to say, okay. In fact, you can put them in various departments: finance goals, family goals, career goals, relationship goals, and then break it down. How do I want to achieve these goals? Now we are talking. Now we are talking, because you have to create and pursue meaningful objectives. Create and pursue meaningful objectives. So yes, all of the things that we are set out to achieve must be penned down, and you must put a strategy with which you want to achieve them. Now, then you know that, okay, you are in charge. That is how to be in charge. Now, Charles Mons pioneered this concept of self-leadership in 1983, defining it as the process of influencing oneself to establish the self-direction and self-motivation needed to perform both motivating and necessary tasks. This framework has since become fundamental to modern leadership development. So Charles Mons in 1983 was the first person that came up with this concept of self-leadership. And he says it's the process of influencing yourself. So you're not influencing others now. You are working with yourself. Like I said earlier, you're in charge. You are in charge. And what are you doing with that influence? You are establishing your self-direction, self-motivation in order to perform necessary tasks. That is self-leadership. And until a leader is self-driven, self-motivated, self-inspired, and all of that, I'm not sure you can do well in leading others. I don't see it happening because you cannot pour from an empty cup. It has to be from within. It is what you have eaten, like Yorubas will say that you will fly with, right? So you have to be full of something before you can dispense to others. Okay, so why does self-leadership matter? Why self-leadership in the first place? It builds your confidence. It helps to develop inner strength and self-assurance to tackle challenges. So why are we even talking about self-leadership? Why can't let's just let things run its course? No, it helps us to build confidence. You are confident in the fact that you are in charge, you can do something. If you have done it with yourself, then you can, cascade to others. Then it enhances autonomy. Some of us, we put in our CV, work under pressure, work without supervision, blah, 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 and all those things. That is self-leadership. It is simply self-leadership. So it means you can work without being supervised. You can work without being haunted. Let me put it that way. You can work without being haunted, Then it increases adaptability. Another reason why self-leadership matters is because it increases your adaptability. It enables quick responses to change, So quickly, you have tried out a few things by yourself and okay, when this is not working, I quickly switch to this. You adapt to change easily. So your adaptability is increased. This is why self-leadership matters, because in the journey of life, in the course of life, there will always be detours. There would always be, things will not always go as planned. So this is why self-leadership matters. Then it sharpens our decision making. It sharpens our decision making. Now I'm going to take a quick real life example of Greta Thunberg. Now, at just 15 years, Greta, give me a minute. She demonstrated extraordinary self-leadership by starting a solitary school strike for climate action outside the Swedish parliament without formal authority. She was not any title, anything, organizational backing. She led herself force. She took charge. She acted on her values. See, values have come in again. Despite criticism and uncertainty, her self-directed actions sparked Fridays for Future, which is a global movement engaging millions of young people. And Greta's journey exemplifies how self-leadership can create ripples of change far beyond what any formal position could achieve. Like I was saying earlier, that these things start from our environment, it starts from our community. You see that something is not working, you take action, you take charge. You're not waiting for, let them sort it. You are in an environment, there's no power, for example. Let me use that kind of example. And you're saying, what is going on here? Let our community executives sort it. You can take charge. You can get up and say, what is going on here? Let's make inquiries. Let's find out. But instead, some people choose to stay in that. Of course, I know there's the Nigerian factor and all of that. But then, what have we done about it? What have you done about it? So you're not just sitting there and waiting for the titled people, the people in position to do something. You act without without having to wait for them. That is what we're talking about. You take charge. Even as simple as you are in a traffic jam and you can't even see what's going on. Maybe two people are just in the road arguing, fighting. You can just take it upon yourself, go ahead and mediate and see if you can broker peace, and then everybody gets going. That is what we're talking about. So instead of you all sitting there and folding your hands and saying, well, let's keep watching and see, that happens a lot here in Lagos. I'm sure some of us who live here are familiar with that. You can get up and say, what is going on here? And then you mediate, and then everybody can move on. So these are examples of leadership, how to take charge. And if you have been taking charge of yourself as an individual, then all of these things will not be difficult. It's about searching for solutions. It's about being a problem solver, right? Imagine that everyone is taking charge in their community, in their families. I think that would have a better Nigeria today. We're not just waiting for government to do everything. Look at what we do here at Executeens. We see a challenge, right? And we are saying, what is the cause of unemployability? Why do we have 40% of our youth unemployed? What is going on? Why? And then we say, okay, let's bridge the skills gap. Let's bridge the soft skill gap. Let's bridge the skills training gap. And then we came up with this initiative and we say, okay, let's do the soft skills. And then we trained, last year we trained graphics design and video editing. This year we're doing content creation. And these are skills that are relatable, that people can quickly pick up and engage. You don't need any big setup, as it were, right? With your smartphone and all the time that you have in your hands, you can do something. Yeah, so this is a challenge to us to search for solutions, be a problem solver, identify challenges around you, and be a problem solver. All right, core leadership strategies, core self-leadership strategies. If you are with me, say hello or just drop a heart in the comment section. If you are with me, leave a heart, leave a heart, leave a heart emoji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So self-leadership requires deliberate practices and strategies. And these 4 approaches work together to strengthen your capacity to lead with intention and purpose. So the first is a clear, very clear personal goal. We've talked about this earlier. It has to be clear, it has to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable or attainable. It has to be realistic, and it has to be time bound. So this year you have said, I'm going to be reading a book a month. Let's take that example that Mrs. Juliet took Australia. And you say, okay, so I've picked this book now, and it's a maybe 12 chapter book. And I'm saying, okay, I want to finish this book in a month. And I have 12 chapters here. Okay, so how do I do it? How many chapters are in that? How many pages are in a chapter? And then you divide it and say, okay, I will read 5 pages every day, so that by the time if I read 5 pages every day for maybe 20 something days, you can exclude weekends because probably you are busy, and that is part of being realistic with your goals, right? So you say, okay, I don't want to do weekends. I just want to do the weekdays. And I want to Netflix and chill during the weekend. So I don't want any there or disturbance and all of that. So let me do for 5 days. And then you divide it that way. That is measurable. That is realistic. That is attainable. And before you know it, bit by bit by bit, you have set that clear goal, right? Measurable objectives. You have a clear path to what you're doing. These are self-leadership. That is number one self-leadership strategy. You have a goal for your life. You have a goal for yourself. You say, this is what I want to achieve. And you put a time frame to it. You say, by the end of Q1 2026, I want to have done, should have done this. By the end of Q2, this should have been achieved. And list the activities that will lead to that the achievement of the. They just put it there blank and say, okay, let it just run its course. And no, you have to. What are the KPIs? How do you know that you have achieved this? So setting clear personal goals is very, very important. Then use positive self-talk. Undebatable. You have to dialogue with yourself. I can do this. I can achieve this. I can, I will. Affirmations. I have my affirmations. I write there in my notes. I put them postage in my diary so that when I wake up in the morning and I read it to myself. I can do this. I am. And then the more you talk to yourself and internalize it, it becomes real to you. And then you shut your ears against negative influences and all of that. So research shows that positive self-talk reduces stress, it improves performance and builds resilience even during challenging moments. So let's learn to practice positive self-talk. So put in the chat, use positive self-talk. Use positive self-talk. Use positive self-talk. Use positive self-talk in the chat. Use positive self-talk. I can't see the comments yet. Use positive self-talk. Use positive self-talk. Tell somebody to use positives. Awesome. Yeah. So the third strategy is to practice self-regulation. Practice self-regulation. It's a whole lot here. So you pause, you practice taking pauses. You don't react to situations, you respond to them because you have pondered on them, right? And when you take a moment to pause, it's no longer reaction. Now you have brooded over it and then you are responding and not reacting. So yes, practice self-regulation. Practice taking a moment to process something before responding and not reacting to it. So let's develop the ability to pause between stimulus, pause between responses, manage our thoughts, control our emotions, understand. Earlier we said you should understand your weaknesses and know how to manage your emotions. But then it's the part of it is understanding your triggers, your emotional triggers, understanding what they are. If you don't know them, then you won't even know how to manage them, right? Okay, time is already against us, right? Okay, so the fourth is develop empathy and authenticity. Lead yourself with genuine passion, compassion. Have compassion for yourself. Know that I'm human. I can make mistakes. Yeah. And you will see that the more you do it with yourself, you are able to extend it to others. This is self-leadership. Develop empathy, develop authenticity. Know that we are all humans, and yes, sometimes there can be mistakes, there can be errors, but then we move on. So lead yourself bit by bit. Take it easy on yourself, basically. Just take it easy. Take it easy on yourself, right? Develop empathy. And that empathy will also flow to others because, you have practice it with yourself as an individual. Okay, so those are core leadership strategies, and that will take us to everyday self-leadership in action. So self-leadership isn't reserved for formal positions, like we said earlier, or grand gestures and all of that. You know, self-leadership should reflect in everyday actions, the things that we do every day, the decisions that we take every day. Okay? Is the courage we have to act on our values, see values again. So it means that everywhere you go, values follow you like this. So values, somebody say values, values, values. Here we are, values, values everywhere. Values, right? So acting on our values, contributing beyond expectations, and creating positive change wherever we go. That is self-leadership in action. So you're not waiting for positions. You're not waiting to be appointed at something before you take action, right? So take initiative beyond your role. You have been assigned a task in an organization. You are doing something, you are not even any title or something. But then you're proactive. You take steps and you say, okay, instead of just sitting and waiting and folding my hands and being told what to do, I will go ahead and do something. I ask questions on the way. I take initiative beyond, and these are the things that leaders want to see. They want to see people that are proactive, people that are taking initiative. And then they know that, okay, yes, it might not be in a title position today, but then they can be recommended for such in the future. So you have done well for yourself and the value follows, right? You're organizing community events, you're identifying gaps, and you're filling those gaps, taking initiatives. This is everyday self-leadership in action. Not mentoring without authority is another way to practice self-leadership in action, right? You are sharing knowledge with colleagues, sharing knowledge with downlines, having conversation with uplines, and all of those. You are not waiting for authority. You're just doing your thing, right? And the third is speaking up constructively. Voice your concerns, suggest improvements, and contribute ideas to solve problems. Speak up. You're in a meeting and they're asking, okay, so yeah, I'm not saying you should be talkative and all of that, but then you're in a meeting. Yes, sit down, digest what is being said. If they say anybody has questions, anybody has comments, say something. Don't just fold your hands and say let them do their thing. No, ask a question at least. Like they will say during interviews that if the employer asks you, do you have any question for us? Always look for a question to ask. Always find a question. It could be about the organization, anything, just ask. It shows that, yeah, this person knows what to do. So ask, speak up, basically. Naturally, I'm an introvert. I really don't talk. I just sit and, whenever I'm in a meeting or I just want to listen, I'm a very, very good listener and I will just speak and just. But the world does not. If you want to make a mark, if you want to change a world, break out of the shell. Break out of that box. Somebody say, break out of the box. Break out, break out, break out. You have to break out of that shell. Come out, come out. Speak up, speak up. We're not saying speak gibberish or speak nonsense, but then constructively, don't say, I have no idea or what have you. No, you have to keep speaking up, voice concerns, suggest something, suggest a way that things can be done better. And that is everyday self-leadership in action. Are you with me? Are you with me? Somebody says, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up. All right. Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. In summary, like we've said, self-leadership entails being in charge of you, taking charge of you, intentionality, being a problem solver, searching for solutions around, not waiting for positions, not waiting for titles, taking charge, taking initiative. And if we decide as individuals to do these things, imagine that everybody is doing what they should. I think we'll be in a better place. We're not waiting for rules and principles and procedures and processes and all of that. We just know that this is the right thing to do and we are doing it. You see, when Nigerians travel outside the country, immediately everybody complies because you know where you are. If you don't comply, if you are a deviant, you are in soup. They will bundle you. But in this country, it appears it's just lawlessness is the right thing. Okay? But we dare to break all that circle. We dare to do the right thing. And if everybody is changing, imagine that our orientation is changing and we are beginning to do the right thing. And everybody is saying, you know what, I'm going to do the right thing. You go out in your community, in your office, and you say, I want to do the right thing. And everybody is making that decision, one after the other. This country and the world will be a better place at life. So the call to action for us is discipline, is intentionality, is taking responsibility. And I believe that we all will meet in greater places. So this brings me to the end of my session. I believe that we all have picked a thing or two from this self-leadership session. If it's been value for your time, leave a heart emoji. Leave a heart emoji. Let me know that, okay, I've gained something. I've gained one thing from this session. All right. Thank you so, so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here with everyone. And I'll see you all in greater places. Thank you so much.
Let us give our founder our flowers. She just made us realize you just have to speak up. The era of shut up, don't talk, don't say anything has gone. We are now in the era of speak up and let people know your worth. When you don't speak up, they don't know what you are capable of doing. Amazing cheer to our founder. She has just delivered a wonderful session on self-leadership. We so much appreciate you, and we want more of these sessions on more of these sessions. It has been an amazing session. Thank you very much. We are waiting for question and answer. Please ask your questions. While we are doing that, I want to ask my question. The question has to do with sharing of my screen. And the question is directed to the entire screen. So the question is directed to the CEO. So I'm awaiting the CEO to please give us answer to this.
I didn't get the question. I only
You
saw a
watched the
video.
video,
Mm-hmm.
but you saw what happened in the video.
Okay, so what's the question
The
to
question
address?
is, they were fighting. So the
Okay.
woman was trying to tell both parties to
Hmm.
calm down.
Hmm.
And they ended up throwing a bottle
Oh goodness. Okay,
on our
okay.
head. So in such
Hmm.
situation, are we meant to look at the environment before contributing, or we should just
Oh my goodness. Thank you. It's so hilarious. I can't even hold it right now. Thank you so
I
much.
have to
I'm
mute?
sure that we've been in this kind of situations a couple. I mean, maybe when we were younger in our class as what's it called? Maybe when we were in high school and all of those things. And you are trying to settle a score between maybe two friends or two colleagues, and then you yourself you collect in the middle of all those things. Let me use Gen Z balance. And this is just funny. So what I'm going to say is this. You want to mediate, you want to broker peace and all those things. Please read the room, watch. When two people are in the middle of a heated fight or argument, they are not applying their senses at that moment. That's the truth. They are not applying their senses. So you have to watch, you have to read the room, you have to, just observe. And you want to get in the middle of two people fighting and you are the one being beaten yourself. So if you see that you are maybe a small statured person and two FT people are fighting, you have no business in that kind of fight, for example, because they will end up using you as the what's it called now, as the footmark or what have you. So, but then there are ways and ways of going about these things, right? You can call one or two persons to join you. And maybe in the case that you are the only one around, you can try to just talk gently. Don't go and stand in their middle or something. You can just try to speak to them, calmly, and help them see, why they should just it's that this combat is not the way out and all of that. So generally just read the room, study what's going on, and don't go and get injured or wounded in the middle of trying to mediate between two people that are in the middle of a combat, so to speak. So I think that wisdom is profitable, and it is well. I feel sorry for the woman, anyways. I feel sorry for her, but it is what
In
it is.
fact,
So I do
she
hope
too
that
praised.
it's all good.
So do we still have question? Mrs. Olubumi is still in the building. She's waiting. So in the absence of no question, please let's use the chat box and say I love the session. It was an amazing one. It was fantastic. I we still need her in our another session. Let's use the chat box. Okay, so I'll also leave us with this song that said what's it called? When I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. It's only a leader that we see such opportunity, that when you fall down, you have to pick yourself back up. You shouldn't just lie down flat like that it means I'm going nowhere. No. So Ms. Olubimi, thank you very much. You've done a fantastic one. If it was a fantastic session, you really did well. Self leadership is something that is important. So many people, they were trained to be leaders, while some have just been leaders right from birth. But because of the environment, shut up. When people are talking, you don't talk. So some people even doubt their abilities and capabilities. Their self esteem has been destroyed. Please pick up. And the way you can also have a good self-esteem is by researching more. By attending webinars like this, it will also help boost your morals and make you know that you're doing fantastically well. I so much appreciate this session. It has been an wholesome one for every one of us. We love it, we appreciate it. Summary of the key sessions. I love everyone for using the chat box to have told us one or two things you have learned from this session. It has been an amazing one. Ifoluwa Kid, some said, speak up. So I'm reading from the chat box now. She said, speak up. While Haladu Muhammad said, reaction matters. No wait until the government or the community leaders come to our aid. Before then we should react. Who are the leaders? We are the one. As you stated earlier, any leader from the society or community we belong to. Please permit me to still read more, so I'll be able to touch one or two people. So there is another one here which says, change begins with every individual. Ifeoluwa, change begins with every individual. Juliet Okona said, I am in charge of me. I am in charge of me. Leadership. I am in charge of me. I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of us for being part of this fantastic program. Executives for year 2026, opening the January session with a fantastic one, an amazing, awesome cheer to everyone that has been a participant on this journey with us. We love you. We appreciate you all. Hoping to see you tomorrow, where we'll have another fantastic session on content creation and time management. You all are amazing. Thank you, everyone. While I hand over to Olubumi Fred Otitoye, if she still has anything to say as the CEO of the program. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you once again for joining in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying through up until now. I know that we all have busy schedules, and we have still taken time out. It just shows that we are committed to learning, we are committed to knowledge in 2026. And like it's been emphasized in both sessions, it's not just talk, it should be backed up with discipline of setting our goals, discipline of following through with our goals, pursuing all of our objectives. And I'm sure that we would be better for it. So thank you, everyone, for joining in once again. Tomorrow is going to be juicier. You don't want to miss it. You really don't want to miss it. We're taking time management, we're taking content creation. And, we're in a digital age now. So we need in one way or the other, content creation will strike you, will eat you. So you want to invite your friends, you want to invite your colleagues, you want to invite your family to join us, either here on Zoom or live on YouTube. And like I shared earlier, the slides for all the sessions will be shared to our mails. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow by the grace of God. It's bye from me for now.
Bye, everyone. Hoping to see you all tomorrow, same time, same venue. We
Thank
appreciate you all.
you.
Bye.
Bye.